Hey everybody out there, this is Sandy here at Benchmark, and we're back onto emotional eating and what it does to us and what's really happening with our brains. Why do people lose weight and then regain it back? Why do we even just get to these unhealthy states? Because we have these uncontrollable urges to eat things that we know we shouldn't be eating, but we're stress eating. And it all has to do with your neurology. There's something called neuroplasticity, and I always call it your blueprint. It's how you're hardwired. It's the way everything in your brain is processing the information. And when you do something long enough in your lifetime, it becomes a habitual pattern. It's something that it's encoded in you. It's almost like somebody who learns how to ride a bike and they get back on it, they know how to ride it. Well, it's the same principle, but different. You get emotional and you learned how to eat when you got emotional. You got sad. Any type of psychological language patterns that you have in your head that you're just accustomed to going to that are connected to foods. So we have to stop that. We have to break that neurological pattern, or that pattern will persist throughout life. And you have to create a brand new pattern. One of my favorite conferences I ever went to was the Tony Robbins Business Academy. And they taught us about something called the triad and breaking the triad. And it had to do with three parts. One was, what are you focusing on? Okay, so imagine you have a triangle. Left-hand side of the triangle, you could write this down if you want to, is what you're focusing on. And then up to the upper right side of the triangle, that's your body language, your physiology, what you're doing. At the very bottom, it's more of like your language patterns. What are you saying? What are you saying? What are your thoughts and what are your words? So if you connect negative words to negative thoughts that create a negative body language, you get a disempowering reaction. You'll get something to sabotage your journey of getting healthy. So what do? Do you just keep going in circle with the triangle, even though it's not a triangle, but it's circular effect of what you're doing. You're like, okay, I think like this, my body goes like this, and then I focus on eating, and next thing you know, I eat. So we have to break that pattern, break that triad, and create a new one. So when you're focusing on something, you say, okay, I'm not going to focus on food. I'm not going to focus on something disempowering. I am going to listen to a hit song. One of my favorites during COVID is I Will Survive. Somebody sent me another song, Journey, the other day, by Journey. Whatever it is, worship songs, whatever it is that can literally enlighten your mind and drive your focus away from the sadness, the depression, the anxiety, and the fear. You've got to change. It only takes like a second. Tony Robbins at one of his UPW conferences, he says it's a 2-millimeter shift. You literally could change your thought processes so quickly, but you have to have like solutions, ready-made solutions, whether it's watching an empowering YouTube video, whether it's listening to awesome music that will move you to drive you to do something differently. And then it's your language patterns. If you're going to say, this sucks, this is awful, all the negative things that could come out of each and every one of our mouths, if you want to go there and live there, you can. It's completely 100% optional. We live at free will. No one drives us to speak negative words. Nobody wakes us up in the morning and goes, can you speak negatively all day long? Can you just be awful all day long and not spew any positivity? Nobody's doing that to us. We live at a voluntary right to make psychological decision choices, to speak how we choose to speak, our thought process, how we speak to others, how do we speak to ourselves. One of my favorite books is The Untethered Soul. It has a cell book picture on the cover, and it's chapter 2 or 3. He talks about the way we speak of ourselves. We would never allow a best friend to speak to us in that manner. So when people get up and they look in the mirror and they're like, I'm fat, I look like crap, all these things. And I'm not innocent of these either, guys. I'm just preaching what I've learned. And you could break away from those and look in the mirror and go, you know what, I'm awesome. I'm going to do my best today. I'm going to go help people. I'm going to serve people. I'm going to be the kindest person I ever thought I could be today. Everything that you're saying and doing, you're living at choice in what you're deciding to do. And then your physiology, I talked about this in the emotional eating podcast I did, but where's your body language? Are your shoulders like hunched over? Is your head looking at the ground? Is your posture straight? Is it not? It's like, how are you holding yourself during these moments of upset, during these moments of disempowerment, when you're feeling discouraged? And you have to change those movements. I don't care if you start lunging like 10 times on the right leg and 10 times on the left leg, and then you start changing your language patterns and you start changing what you're focusing on. But if you don't start to change, the neuroplasticity of your past persists. And it persists, and it's generational. Think about how our parents were and how we've had to overcome that, or whether your parents were empowering and you're an empowered person, or whether your parents just came from the Depression era and they loved to really go back to their roots of fear and concern, but it's not their fault, it was what they went through. And we're going through it with COVID. So what are we going to teach our kids during COVID and trying to come out of this whole COVID-19 experience? Are we going to teach them that we can be inspired and empowered individuals and we can persevere? Is it going to be hard? Do we have to work hard? Yes. Everyone's going to have a different normal. Everything's different. The kids want social interaction. They want different things. But to have an empowering household, encouraging, being leaders, every parent is considered a leader. Anyways, I hope this helps you guys and motivates you guys during this really unique time that we're all experiencing. This is Sandy from Benchmark. I love you guys, and God bless you. Please stay safe and stay strong. Hey, everybody out